All right, welcome back, art students, to another lesson. Today I'm going to attempt to show you guys how to do the back. Now, a lot of times I will avoid drawing hard positions from the back because I haven't really mastered that yet, and I don't like to teach you something that I really don't fully comprehend, but I'm going to show you what I do know and let you get started. Okay, so let us begin. So first you have to start out with the front because the front is important to the back. So you all know to do this. Hopefully I'm using a pencil this time, so hopefully it's dark enough. You're going to have you're doing your torso, your center line, your cross, and I'm going to go fast in this because I want to do a 10-minute video. I don't know if I can or not, but I'm going to try. So then you're going to do your mountain here, which is just your stomach. And then a little above that, you're going to do your lower half of your chest. All right, so we're going to, from here to this point, we're going to come down. Sometimes I curve it in. Sometimes I make it straight. It just depending on how my hand moves. So at that point, you turn here and you turn there, and that is just your curvature of your chest. So under this is your delt, and your delt is going to come down almost to the bottom of your chest, almost, and it's going to actually go in right here. It's going to go in like that. So you're going to go in. There's not like way out here unless you're putting your arm up, but if your arm is down, it's going to go in some. Remember, it's going to stay under that line, and it's going to go pretty much close to that bottom line to your chest. Then we have your neck, put that V, go up, and then the rest are your traps or your shoulders, as some people say, because they don't know the name of it. Let's put a head on here just because. All right, so from here, you want to come in, and that's because your love handles are right here, or your obliques. Your obliques are a little bigger than I kind of gave them credit for in the beginning. So understand you have your rib cage, or your opening, your mountain right here, and then it comes in like that. So this rib cage, where it stops and curves it back around, it's going to be sitting on top of your love handles or your obliques, and your obliques are going to be sitting on top of your upside down house, or your hips, your hip bone. I don't want to draw the hip bone because something like that, something like a butterfly kind of thing. Okay, so knowing where stuff sits, we can get going to do the back. All right, so you're always going to have your center line. That plays a big part in the whole thing. So let's flip this thing around and do the back. Now, usually when I do the back, I don't do a round. I kind of do more like this, because you want that, because those lats right here are going to be wide. So I'll kind of like do a shield. Then center line, and this is probably going to go fast, so just you have to kind of go back and watch it. And then I put the triangle right here. Okay, now this triangle is going to turn into kind of like a spear point, or a throwing star, a kind of off throwing star. So we're going to do this. It's going to come down to like half of the back. It's going to come like this. There's your point to your spear or your throwing star, and it's going to come back up like this, and this is going to be squared off like that. So that's kind of the shape that you're going to have, and I'm going to curve this out like that. So everything I draw is a shape. So if you break it down to each part, then you'll get it. The more you draw it, the quicker you'll remember it. So if you draw this over and over and over and over, don't try to just say, oh, I got it, and try to draw some, quick superhero pose. Just memorize these shapes and draw these shapes. So after that, your delts are going to, they don't show, you don't see too much in the front, but in the back you'll see more, because at the bottom of this one little dip, that's when your delt's going to come out. So since the arms are down, it's going to be down like this. And remember, this comes down to almost the bottom of the chest. So if your chest is here, so you want to make that come out. So it's going to come out right here. And it's going to slope down unless you put your arm up, then it'll curve up. So right here and here. And usually you will see some of the top because this, now it's time to get my pen. And then once you do this, you learn to round them off, because this is going to, the more stronger the person is, the more of a roundness that these will get, because of doing like shoulder exercises, picking up, heavy stuff. So it's going to be like that, and your delts are you're going to see that's the center line. You're going to see like that. So you're going to see the top, you're going to see the front and the back, a little of the front and the back of the delts from the back. All right, so, and it's going to curve around like that, and then you're going to have that muscle, which I don't know what that, no, these are your traps. This whole thing is your trapezius muscles, okay? So keep going. I don't want to use the pen too much. So under that, you have your shoulder blades, and that's kind of going to go to the end of the body, or to the end of the lats. And these are your lats here. You're going to have your shoulder blades. And the one reason I don't really go too much into the back is because there are just so many muscles. Every time you flex or move, there's another muscle, especially if you're really lean. There's another muscle that shows, because your lats, actually, they come back. The muscles, I think somehow they come all the way back, but that's under the skin. So you don't want to over muscularize the back of somebody unless you actually know the exact way a muscle is supposed to go. And then you have these muscles here. It's kind of, they call it like this Christmas tree. And your lats come down and then back like this. They come all the way down and back, and they stop right where your center line. They stop right where your buttocks are going to be. So if I do the buttocks real quick. Right? So you have all this open space here. Though that's where your love handles are going to be at. So this plays a key part in when you're drawing lats, or when you're drawing your back. It all has a big key, but just know that when you rotate it, where all this is going to be at. So we've got that, and I'm going to turn it to the side now. So remember, wherever this stops, that's where your love handle is going to come. And your love handles are from the side. How is it from the side? It's something weird. I don't know. I'm just using my paper, using up my paper. And I haven't used my eraser in a minute, because I have been doing a lot of everything. My Kickstarter book is finished, but the campaign has not started yet. I'll keep you guys, abreast of that. All right, going from the side. This is going to be, I'll open that up a little bit more. The rib cage, okay? So your rib cage is like this. So this is going to cut out right here. Your chest is going to be a little above it. And your shoulder, let's go do the traps. So I'll tell you what, let's just draw the whole thing. It's easier than trying to piece stuff together and make it fit. So your neck is going to go like this. You're going to have these muscles that go up to your ear. Your traps are going to stop right here. This is what this is. They separate like that. And then they go into a little triangle, because they come down like that, and they go into this little triangle, and that gives you a little more muscular back when you're trying to do the back. So it's going to stop here under the skull, the cranium, whatever, here, and then they're going to come down, and then they go around the back. So what you have here, all of this is going to be your traps, this. And you have your collarbone. So your traps are round like that. And then you have these two muscles, or just these bands that go up to your ear, which is your neck. And you have your Adam's apple in there, and you have some other muscles that go in there. So your neck is really small. It's just your traps that go up your neck and make that. So this part is just basically the neck part right here. This little, all of this in here. And this is your traps. And then you're going to have, I'm going to ink that. You're going to have your delt right here. Okay. So your delt is going to be wherever that collarbone is going to come up and stop, like right there. That's going to be the center of the traps, and that's going to go to the back. That one's going to go to your back on the side. It's going to go down and up, and then like this. Remember, almost to the bottom of your chest. So your chest, somewhere in the middle, your chest is going to curve like right in here. This was the purpose of this line, to curve that chest in. So your lats, your latissimus dorsi is going to come out from under this arm, and it's going to curve around down into the back. Remember, this curves around and it goes almost to the center. Well, it kind of does go to the center. So it's going to curve around down here. So this is going to be my waist, or AKA the tuna can. So this is going to come down like that. So we have this, and then we're going to curve this in down to the crotch. This is going to be the buttocks. It's going to be the leg. So it's going to be like this. Curves in, flattens off, goes down and out. And then the crotch comes there. And the back goes there. So this goes around the back. You're going to still see a little piece of it. But if you're putting on clothes, you won't see all these muscles. But if you're drawing like a Black Panther suit or Spider-Man suit or something where you see the muscles, don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. So you have this, your chest, the lats, and your serratus muscles or serratus muscles. They follow this curve right here. Remember I showed you back in the day, it's like a fang, like doing the fangs, like tiger fangs or something. And then you put the lines in there. So this is going to follow this down, and you're going to see 5, and they're going to go basically straight across. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That. And let me ink this. So right at the lats, like this, it's going to curve back. That's too much, Brian. And then you're going to have just like a fang. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 lines equal your 5. And what they are like, they call it serratus muscles, like the knife, the knife that's not just flat. It's got the teeth. And then your other muscles from these lines that's going down, they go down, and I believe those are your actual rib muscles. And they stop right here, of course, because your ribs stop right there. And then you have your stomach. So remember, wherever that rib goes back up around, then you have your love handles. It took me a long time to memorize the word obliques. So in here, where this goes back, that's where you're going to have that dark area. Like when you do your muscles, like in here, right here, you're going to have that black area, dark area. And it just makes your abs look better. So your bottom abs is going to be here. Your center abs is going to be here. And your top abs, usually I'll curve, wherever this curves, I'll do the top abs here. Sometimes I make this too long, so you're just going to have to watch that. And then your stomach. And then at the bottom of that, you have these 2 big muscles, which is still, I think, considered your abs. And your belly button is just right over that one, if I'm not mistaken. So you have this black, and then you have these diamonds. Same thing here, half a diamond, half a diamond, half a diamond. And I always bring this in. I give this little mountain right there. Makes your stomach look good. So then you can bring it down like that. But we're not talking about the front. We're talking about the side and the back. So you have your chest. Goes up, and these lines connect, but you don't see them because you have your delt. They're kind of like a heart. So we have this bone right here, this piece right here, and then you have your stomach going down and then right up into the crotch. And then you can put your lines there. All right, so from the side, we got that, we got that, we got that, we got the obliques. Now, when you turn, that's another story. 15 minutes already. I cannot do a 10-minute video. I don't know how people do that. I just do not understand. Maybe one day I will, but today is not the day. I was going to try to do an under-hour video. All right, so if I'm turning this guy to the side, to give him more of a 3/4, still doing this. Let's say, so that center line is going to be like this. This guy's going to be turned. So you're going to see, anytime you turn a person, you're going to see more of this shoulder than that shoulder. That's a given. I've seen, people try to make it even, and I used to try to make it even when I was young. So, and another thing that I used to do is I would not stick with this line, and I'll kind of show you in a second. So I'm going to have that's my spine going up to the neck, coming down. So when you do this, this side is going to always look higher. For whatever reason, this side looks higher than this side if you're going to do a 3/4 view. So there. So okay. So now I have. Remember, you're doing your triangle or your spear point. Probably pretty much halfway to the back. Take it up this way, and I would never make these even. They will always be like the same length, and that's what threw me off a lot of times. So again, you're going to see some of the front and some of the back. And remember, don't have this too far back because this is your delt. This is where your delt stops, at this curve going down. Then you want to have your, see, the more I name it, the more I forget. Your shoulder blade, and then your arm. Of course, your arm doesn't go way back here, kind of right here, like where the body connects. And of course, there's always that point, and that point separates your bicep from your tricep. Okay, so let me ink this real quick so it makes it a little better for you guys. And another thing, try to keep it wide, because this has gotten narrow, which is another bad point that I used to do because I'm self-taught. Nobody showed me that. I had to kind of figure it out myself. And then, of course, there's going to be your lats right here. And then you can bring it up, give it more that muscular look, because remember you have this little Christmas tree part. So that's going to go up, but it's got to, they connect. This one and this one connects. This point and this point, like here and here, connect. All right, so you have that. Make that a little wider because your lats are going to come out again here. However you put your arm. So what I would do is I would move this over more. And that's the hard part that I'm saying, because it's hard to do this. It's not easy to do this, but I'm showing you guys the steps. The more you practice, the more you'll get it. These are the steps, but every time I do this, just something is just thrown off because this should be further over. But for now, let's just keep going. All right, so we have this. It's going to go down. So when you turn this, remember your obliques. Your obliques or your love handles are going to be right there. So this has got to go to the bottom. And then your obliques are right there, and that sits on top of the buttocks or the hips. And you see how, what I'm saying? It gets skinny. It just, for some reason, it gets skinny. Now, when you turn this, you're going to, depending on how much you turn it, you're going to start seeing some of the chest and some of the abs. So in doing that, let's see if I can move this and keep this on screen at the same time. Let's put it over here, way over here, so you can see it. To do that, let's just say we draw a cylinder. This is the easiest way that I kind of found out. So then I want to draw the back over the cylinder. Let's just say I am going to draw a thing where the guy's turning and punching. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw this right here. So that's a cylinder, and this is kind of like a whatever covering that cylinder. And let's just say I put the spine right here. Let's just do something that might throw everything off, but you never know. It might work out. I'm going to use some of my markers. This is the brush. I didn't want the brush, so I'm not going to use this. I bought so many markers. I was into coloring with markers. So I started buying all these markers, and they're drying up because I don't use them. So anyway, let's just go pencil and pen. So this is going to be top of my shoulders going up into the neck. Okay, remember that. All these lines play a major part. It's going to go down, down. Remember the same thing with the neck. The neck is going to be that cylinder in front of this. So this is going to be my head. And this is going to be the neck. All right, so you got this cylinder covered by this. And from the size of this, this is way too small. So let's just do this. Let's do this. Let's make it a little bigger. And let's bring this cylinder down because I have this guy leaning. So I know I got a mess. So let's start this over again. So we have this, and we have this cylinder that's got to come to the point because it ends. Everything ends at the same place. Okay, got the cylinder, and then we have this, your spine. Okay, so when you start to turn the person, you're going to start to see the chest, and you're going to start to see the rib cage and the abs, because the lats like this, and then remember the steps. Remember the steps. Dirty eraser is this and that. Your spearhead. That in the arm. So you're going to see that chest, and you're going to see, depending on the lats, I can make the lats more rounder or more going out this way instead of coming in that way. But you know that it goes around and then down to the back, and then you can see some of the serratus muscles. You may, and then of course the obliques, which are, so if my rib cage was like this is the back of it, going around, my obliques are going to be down here. And you might see some over this side, depending on how much the person's turned. And of course you have this again, and this is what I would say, bulk it out. Instead of sucking it all in, make it come out around. And I'll ink this in a second. And of course you have your delts on this side, and you have your delts on that side. So a lot of times it covers up the chest. Remember, the delt is going to go right up under here and then right up under here as well. All right, I see my camera jumping. I don't know if it's trying to tell me something's good or something's bad. So I think the fact that I was bringing it in like this and kept it like that was throwing it off. So you want, like I said, you want to bulk it out. This one is fine. This one you have to do that and bring it around, which is what I'm saying with this. So let me draw this delt. So if I bring it out and then in to give it that more of a roundness, and then I can bring this out even more, because once you get this, it just makes it bulk out a little bit more. So we have your chest, it goes in, you have this is part of that, and it goes down. And then my love handle is right here. And as I said, you can have the serratus muscle. But a lot of times, once you put that arm there, you lose it, or you won't see any of this. And of course, remember, this splits the arm and your bicep. It splits your bicep from your tricep. So I think maybe because I've kept this round and not flipped it up like that, it kind of throws off. It throws it off. And your arms are going to stop. Your arm's not going to come on your back. It's going to stop right here, or start right here at your end of your lats on that side. And then this is going to come down like this, come in like that, go up. Because when you lift your arms up, this is going to scrunch up. The more you lift your arms up, the more this thing is going to scrunch up, and you won't what? You won't see as much. You're still going to have this that goes there. You see that? Yeah. And then you're going to have more of a sharpness to it, and then your arm's going to come up from there. So this is going to scrunch up. And depending on how much you turn it, the rib cage could come out, and you can see just a little bit of abs depending on how much you turn it. So this is going to be here, there, and it's got to fall on that center line, and this, that, and there's your neck, and you have that diamond again. And as I said, there are so many muscles in your I want to say collarbone, I want to say rib cage, shoulder blades there. But you have so many muscles that every time you move or flex, it's going to change your muscles, because these muscles, how do they, I think they come out like this. These are just crazy. They come out like this. They kind of like overlap each other and go in strange ways. This one, it goes like, there is an eye. The way I learned to draw this is like it splits. It's like an evil eye, like that. It's like you draw that. It's like an evil eye, and one muscle comes and then you're like this, and the other one comes like that. It's weird, but if you just stick with the basic muscles, then you should be all right. You should be okay. So let's just see if I can do this. This was always hard for me to do. This position. Okay, so I'm just doing the basics right now. Let's see if this works. Might not. It might. Because as I said, all drawing is just muscle memory. So if you draw it over and over and over again, if you have trouble with a position, just draw that one position. Just draw that one position all day. And your arms, your muscles will know how to do it, where it fits, and so forth and so on. So remember to keep this wide. This is your typical punch, or somebody's running, whichever one. But the back is turned, and this is seen like, yeah, this is gonna be more of a side. And so your spine is right here. So your lats are going to come out and go to the back, which means your chest is going to be seen. Some of the rib cage is going to be seen. And some of the stomach is going to be seen. This goes up and in like this. And remember, this goes around and it goes in like that. So you only see this part of the other side. Let me, before I do that, ink it. Let me do what I got to do. Okay, going up, here is my traps, trapezius muscles, traps, yeah, delts, traps. Okay, so right here, and then in. So remember, this is going to be like this, and this is going to go up. arm is going to be like that. You're going to have your, again, whatever that muscle is called, and then your back, because this goes, and it's going to have that Christmas tree, but it's going to also be something like that. So if I ink this, and hopefully it comes out right, and again, this is too real narrow right here, so I'm going to put the delt, how's that delt going to go off of this? And let's see if I can ink this. Your traps, yeah, your trapezius muscle right here. Your shoulder blades, your delts, your lats, which come out and go around. You might see some of the serratus muscle, but your chest is going to come down like that. It's going to hit your bone, whatever you call it, and then go around like that. Some stomach going down into your crotch. This is going to be that hip muscle like this. This is going to be your, wow, the more I name stuff, the more I forget. You love handles. Everybody knows love handles, so just say the love handles. Obliques. And then this leg. So this is shaped like this, and it comes out here. It dips in here. This is why you see the crotch, because it's that hip is like square, flat-ish. Goes into the buttocks, dips in, it comes out. Of course, it dips in, and it goes out again there. And then you may see a little hip bone right there, and then the leg. But usually, save that for the women, the extra piece of hip bone. So we've got the spine. The spine is going to go, and it's going to end right here. So basically, it's twisting all the way around. So you have this here. You have your delt goes up and curves around, because it's weird. It twists around the arm depending on how your arm is turned. And then you have your head right there. So you have this, and then you have this Christmas tree again. And then, as I said, there's so many muscles. You can have this bulk out a little bit more. But the point for that one was showing you this. And again, if you do this, no, that would be like this, because it's leaning back. If you do this little cylinder, and then you put that over top of it, curve it around, curve it over top of it. That cylinder, there's your spine, your chest. Whatever's left here is going to be your chest and your bone, wherever your bone curves up, that's going to be your love handle. Say it, Ryan. Say the word, love handle. I'm trying to get a thicker brush to make heads or tails out of that. 33 minutes. That's not too bad if I end it right here. So again, you want to curve that out and then back. This is going to be curved and back. Here is your spine. I guess the more curve you get to it, the more roundness you get to it, the more thicker it's going to look. Right here is going to go up and into the neck. Keep that line going up again. And this, I'll give examples 2 and 3 times. That could be why, one reason why. That, see, I'm curving that out a little bit more. Bring that in at the point, and then in. Then there's my delt. And again, like I said, this is your chest. The chest has got to go down, and then that there, and then wherever it curves in, your oblique. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. So I don't really just screw it up too much. Screw it, what I'm saying, too much. And then you get the point. But it's, like I say, it's something that you have to work with. I know we all draw the big chest and, the big arms and the stomach and so forth. But when it gets to the back, like I said, there's so many muscles, and when you twist, you lose stuff, and you flex more, you get more muscles popping out, and so forth, and so on. So you're probably going to have to look at this a couple times and then try it for yourself. And since I've got the big guy out here, let me show you kind of what I'm talking about. The back muscles, okay? You got where the delts are. This, he's dirty, and you know, it's just, yeah. You got where the delts are here. You've got the little triangle piece here, and it goes down to the back. You've got the little Christmas tree. And when you, let's see if I can get it close to the camera, if the camera wants to work, when you turn it, this, you see how this part of the trap, yeah, it goes down, and then this part is up more. It's weird. This guy, he's just got a really thick back. So let me show you this other guy here. Back muscle. This is pretty good to have, but the thing is, it doesn't move, and sometimes you need stuff to move. So just an example of what I did. So you see where the love handles are. The love handles come all the way down. From there, you have that center line, you have that triangle shape, and you have your that part, shoulder blade, and your arms stop right there. It connects right there. So your shoulder blade comes right up to that arm, that tricep. So practice that. If you have, you know, figures, no, you don't know. I don't know why I keep saying it. If you have figures, just practice that. A lot of them might not have that much musculature design on it, but if you know where the pieces are, then you can put them together on whatever drawing you do. I was going to do another drawing, but I don't want to go past 50 minutes. So that's going to be it. I will see you guys in the next video, and I will keep you posted about my Kickstarter campaign. I may flash a picture here just to show you something, give you guys the first preview of, I'll do the whole page maybe. I don't know. We'll see. You'll see in a second. All right. I'll see you guys in the next class.